There are four main rules of gun safety. Rule 1, never point a gun at anything you don't intend to kill or destroy. Rule number 2, every gun is loaded all of the time, and it must be treated that way. Rule number 3, never touch the trigger of any gun ever until you are going to shoot something. And Rule 4, awareness of your target and what sits behind it. So rule number 4 is kind of tricky. It sounds very similar to rule number 1. Rule number 1 being, be careful what you point at, if I was to use layman's terms. Rule number 4, in layman's terms, careful what you shoot at. Those sound very, very, very similar. What the difference is, obviously, is pointing and shooting. So when we say rule number 4 is, in layman's terms, be aware of your target and what lies beyond it, what you're essentially saying is awareness of what you're shooting at and what's behind it is drastically important to maintaining firearm safety. In order to use this firearm, you should never shoot at something that has a risk of injuring you, anyone around you, or anyone behind that target. So if I was to pull up on a dirt road and set up pop cans and stuff, and I don't necessarily know what's behind those pop cans on the 2x4 I've set up or whatever it is, and there's just bushes behind there and I don't know what's in the bushes, or if there's a house on the other side of the clearing of those bushes because it's a windy road up on a mountain or something like that, obviously that would be a bad idea. Fire department. Another common sense rule for you guys, don't deep fry turkeys inside of your kitchen. How's that? Anyway, back to the video. I'm not going to edit that out either. That's kind of funny. But back to the task at hand here. Rule number 4, gun safety. What was it that I said? Oh, yes. So if your backstop is barrier blinded, so in other words, whatever's sitting behind what you're shooting at, you don't know what's on the other side of that, don't take the shot, obviously. Now, one exception to this rule that I'm aware of is personal defense. Using this gun for personal defense in a public place where the immediate threat is to you and the secondary threat is the risk of collateral damage, you need to focus on the immediate threat. It's just the way it is. We live in a world of reality, and the reality is that if someone is attacking you, like with a knife or a gun or whatever it is, you need to use this on that person. Or if a dog's trying to take a bite out of your leg, or just whatever it happens to be, you're going to have to use this. And you're probably not going to be in an ideal position to be pointing and shooting at things that are ideal to shoot in that particular direction. But we all have to do what we have to do. And that being said, shooting with common sense, I guess, would be really the consensus for this particular rule. I guess that really about sums it up, truthfully. Shoot with common sense. Do not shoot at things that have a high risk. Do not unnecessarily shoot at things with a high risk of doing collateral damage. That's about it. So, again, like, subscribe, tell your friends. Thanks, guys.